Will you be remembered as somebody that helped a lot of people or somebody that destroyed a lot of people? What will they say, or what are they even saying when you're not around? Who misses you? Who has your life touched? What do you represent? See, if you don't have time to ask yourself this question from time to time, then there's nothing that you will do that will make sense about your life. If you can answer these questions about yourself, your life, your existence, your relationship with God, where are you going to spend eternity? Have you given your life to God? Are you saved? Because from time to time, we have to think about the fact that everything we know at life today will finish someday. We are human beings. Let's read it. But what does not expire is your what you leave behind. So what are these legacies? For you to be able to leave a legacy behind, it's not about having money. Because there are many people that have money, a very evil legacy behind. There are many people that have riches, that have treasures, or they leave a legacy of destruction behind. So it's not about money. What is it that you can give to the generation yet unborn? Yes, you might think the politicians are this problem. But have you thought your own legacy? As an individual? Have you thought of your own act as an individual? Because life, in whatever form you think it is, and when it ends, what we said after I'm gone. Have you thought what will be your children after you're gone? You're a man, you womanize, you have 10, 15 girlfriends. Don't you know they will abuse you after you are gone? That's the son of the man that womanizes. You can spend money on your girlfriend, but you're not spending money on the future of your children. The question is, have you planned even for your children? What is that? How many months do you think your children will be able to live before you to demise? What of life? What of existence? What do those things mean to you? You see, we can come and talk about Nigeria and everything, but these questions are very important parts of your life. And if you do not think about that, when life will happen to you, I hope you'll be able to answer those questions. So what is your existence like? What kind of life are you living? Who are you as an individual? What kind of impact are you making? You see, this is my message today is for the mind that thinks deep. And I'm preaching this message because as we get into the end of the year and we start to calibrate for the next year, you need to think deeply about yourself and your existence. This message I'm preaching today is not for everybody. But there will be some people that will say, Rufai, this was the message for me. After this message, I will play a series by somebody called Mr. Amos as regards tackling the problems of insecurity and all of that. But I want to ask you, how is your life going? How's your existence? What is your existence like? What if your life ends today? Will you say you have lived a fulfilled life? Will you say you have impacted generations? What will you say your life means to a lot of people? It's the time for sober reflections today. Trust me, I had another message prepared. But just before I was starting, this message was dropped in my heart. And it is this message I'm trying to give you today. Because the founder and the director of the show is God up above. And it's got nothing to do with me. I'm just a mouthpiece. So I want you to think deeply. Oh, before you. I'll come in just a minute. What impact would you say you have made? And what possibilities would you say you have built? The most important thing in life, let me tell you, as you think through this process, is number one. A life well lived is a life for others. A life well lived is a life lived with the understanding that the elevation of others is tied to your destiny. So will you say you have elevated others? Would you say you have upgraded the life and the prospects of others? These are very important questions. Just 1 minute again.
So will you say you have elevated the cause of destiny of others? And what will you say your life has done to others watching?
So these are some of the questions, and I want you to think hard and long about them.
The phone lines to call 0907 0907 651 1008. 0907 651 1008. 0907 651 1008. I don't know who this message is for today, but all I have done is I have delivered the message. Are you right with your relationship with God? If you die today, are you assured of your eternity? Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello? Oh, we lost that. Have you thought about your legacies? Have you thought about what will be said after you? Have you thought about your life? Hello? Like I asked before, have you even written down a will that would even protect the ones you love? We act like there's a lot of time in life, but there's no time. The greatest delusion in life is to think you have a lot of time. One day you are here, the next you're no longer there. One day you have the power, the next you don't have the power. As you are today, you suffer a disability. What will be for you?
How much do you have left until you are broke if you stop working today? These are critical questions you will not hear on a daily. But that's why it's impact with Rufai. But these questions are the most impactful questions about your life. You can preach prosperity and get people excited. But I'm not here to excite you. I'm here to tell you the undiluted truth. And the message we are on today is the truth. So have you thought about all of these things I have talked about? Have you thought about all of these things? Because there's a 50-50 chance some of the worst case scenarios we have talked about this morning will occur at some point in your life. I tell people that. I woke up one morning. If they told me that day that in the next 3 days my father will be disabled, he will not be able to walk again, I will not believe. But it happened. And for the last 12 years of his life, I had to find my life caring for somebody that went disabled. And I was perfectly okay some months before. Nothing ever prepared him for that phase of his life. But it's a circumstance and it happened. And the truth is, once it happens, you have to get used to it. You have to get used to some changes that happen in your life. How are you preparing that? What if the things you love the most are taken away from you? What if that wife you said is the best thing ever about your life is taken? Sometimes life will take the best things away from you. These things are also to show you that what you think is the best thing about you is not the best thing. But it is to show you as a God that oversees everything, and that is bigger than the heavens and the earth. And it is in those things you know your true friends. See, the truth is, like I tell people, wait till you have your next problem. You will know that those that you think truly care for you, never care for you. They only care for you because there's something in it for them. These are the critical questions we'll ask. And you see, these are questions a lot of us do not never want to ask ourselves. Today I'm talking about you and your life. I'm talking about you and your life. Some people are playing because they don't understand when you go through the dark times of life. Because you come at some point. How you do it or how you are doing it. I've said many things. These things I've said. Do you even have a will to take care of your loved ones? It's when crisis comes, you will know the true story. Have you asked your spouse how many children do they have outside that you don't know? There are many men living parallel families out there. But it is the day the man has a stroke that the woman will now be faced with the fact that he has another family out there. So have you tried asking how many children out there? I don't know why I went into this today, but God that is directing me for somebody. Like I said, this message is not for everybody. So some people can play. I'll take one or two calls and wrap it up. My job is already done this morning. The message that was put in my heart to be delivered have been delivered. God, I have spoken your word, and it left for your people to be able to take learnings from these words I've spoken. I'll call the number once again, 0907 651 1008. 0907 651 1008. I'll play a couple of thoughts on solving insecurity problem in Nigeria. But like I said, the message I was told to deliver, I have delivered it. He who have ears, let them hear. He who does not have ears, let them continue their folly. It's just a matter of time. 0907 651 1008. These are the numbers to call us up. 0907 651 1008. 0907 651 1008. I'll take one or two of your calls this morning. Hello? Hello? The phone lines, I don't know what's happening to them today. Zero 0907 651 1008. May God teach a lot of you to be able to discern the words of wisdom that have come out today. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Great to have you. Go ahead. Turn off your radio set.
Happy Sunday, sir.
Great to have you. It's still on, bro.
Okay, can you hear me clear now?
The radio set is still on. Turn it off.
Okay.
Off it, yes.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm John, yeah.
Speak up.
I'm John.
Yes.
That's why sorry.
What's that?
Need a prayer.
Okay. I'd like to join my talk with you, Brother John. I said that thing that is that I do not know, but there's a God between us that knows. I ask God Almighty, through Jesus Christ our Lord, to solve that problem in Jesus' name. It is well. It is well. God bless you. God bless you. And you too. 651 1008 0907, that's the number. 0907 651 1008. My job is done here today. Zero 0907 651 1008. Zero 0907 651 1008. So, I mean, once we cannot get some of the calls, I'll just let it be for today. And it's good to see all of you again. And I pray that that message has sipped in. And we pray that God will continue his work in your life. Okay, you're the last caller. Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Peter, calling from Audio Matter.
Great to have you, Peter.
I treat you become the best. I've been trying to beat you, sir, because as I have an issue, and for that step, I don't have anywhere to be. This is Ebola. That Ebola where people refuse. So I just make take nylon sheet on top of the dirty. So I have nowhere to go with my children.
How many children do you have with you there?
So I'm having 3 children.
Okay. Give your number out on the air.
Sir?
Call your number for us.
Okay. 0, I beg, take me for that number. 07. Voila. 091. Hello, sir.
I'm with you.
091.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah.
75.
Yeah.
12.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you. It is well with you.
Okay, sir. That's all.
Thank you.
God bless you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's about all we can take on the show today. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you for your time. Those that understand the message of today, I'm sure they've taken it in. And those that are yet to get it, maybe 10, 15 years from now, you will get it when life hits you. At some point, life will happen to all of us one way or the other. So maybe it will make sense then. But may you have the understanding to be able to navigate your way through when it happens to all of us. But one thing that will help you navigate your way through is your relationship with God. I'd like to call on you today. If you don't have a relationship with your God, your Savior, come to Him in prayer by saying, "Dear Father, I dedicate my heart and soul to you. Lord, forgive me of my sins and help me find His face in your kingdom." Amen. It is well. Bless you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
A radio station is supposed to inform,
Recently, that people are getting to know about themselves, about their physique. That is women, black women.
educate,
So what you need to do now is go to www.
and also entertain you.
Chapter systems are offline.
Number one for today's hits and all-time
Today,
favorites.
we're asking the real question.
This is
What will
Voice-
actually break the kidnapping industry in Nigeria? Not in theory, not in political grammar, but in practical, ground-shaking, outside-the-box action. This episode will open your mind. Let's begin with a hard truth. Kidnapping in Nigeria is no longer random crime. It has become a structured industry. The same way you have the oil industry, the telecom industry, we now have a kidnapping industry. There is a value chain, scouts and informants, fuel suppliers and food couriers, armed fighters and camp commanders, negotiators and middlemen, money movers and laundering channels, and yes, insiders within security agencies and government institutions. This is not guesswork. Even the Senate has admitted there are internal collaborators and compromised intelligence channels. So the first outside-the-box shift is this. We must stop treating kidnappers like isolated criminals and start treating them like a business network. That must be dismantled node by node. Once you see kidnapping as an industry, every strategy changes. You stop chasing only the man holding the gun, and you start targeting the informant, the fuel supplier, the money man, and the insider who makes it all possible. Let's talk plainly. Some kidnappers are not in the forest. Some are sitting in offices. Some are wearing uniforms. Some are moving files. Some are leaking information. We have seen this pattern of troops mysteriously withdrawn from a town, only for bandits to strike days later. Ambushes happening on roads where nobody was expecting danger, except the criminals. Intelligence raised by brave officers that somehow dies in a file and is never acted on. So here's an outside-the-box idea. Create an independent counter-collusion inspectorate, a small elite multi-agency team, not controlled by any governor or any single agency, reporting directly to the President, the leadership of the National Assembly, and a civilian oversight board. Their job? Hunt internal collaborators, audit security operations in kidnap corridors, investigate suspicious troop withdrawals, trace leaked operations, freeze suspicious assets, and expose bad eggs no matter their rank. Because my brother, let me tell you, if you don't clean the inside of the house, the thief outside will keep winning. Now let's talk about intelligence. Right now in Nigeria, information on kidnapping is scattered everywhere. Police case files, over there. DSS intelligence, somewhere else. Bank suspicious transaction reports, different silo. Telecom data, locked away. Vigilante information in people's heads, never written, never digitized. No country fighting organized kidnapping can win like this. So we need a kidnap and ransom fusion center. Let's call it KARC. This will be a digital command hub, where all kidnap-related information is fused, telecom metadata from ransom calls, bank alerts around ransom payments, police and DSS case files, local vigilante reports, community tip-offs, conflict incident databases. KARC will produce live heat maps of kidnap hotspots, early warning systems for at-risk communities, profiles of recurring kidnap fingerprints, the same phone numbers, same bank accounts, same negotiation styles, and link analysis that shows when attacks in different states are actually connected to the same network. Imagine a Nigeria where, as soon as a ransom negotiation starts, patterns in the call data are flagged. As soon as money moves suspiciously, alerts are triggered. When a village is attacked, the data is fed instantly into a national system, not forgotten the next day. This is not science fiction. This is what serious countries do when they choose to fight crime like a system, not like a drama. We often think security means more guns, more uniforms, more checkpoints. But security starts with design, with engineering, and with planning. Look at our roads. Kidnappers don't just attack anywhere. They rely on specific corridors. Where the road is bad, the bush is thick, and the state is absent. So here's the outside-the-box move: turn certain roads into security-engineered corridors. What does that mean? Clear dense vegetation near the pavement. Fix critical bad spots that make ambushes easy. Build well-lit laybys every few kilometers as safe zones. Install solar-powered CCTV cameras at choke points. Deploy number plate recognition at entry and exit points. Put micro-security outposts along known kidnap stretches. The goal is simple. Make the terrain itself hostile to kidnappers. Same thing for schools. Instead of building boarding schools alone in the middle of nowhere, we can create safe learning zones where schools are clustered near security outposts. Children have supervised transport. Communities and local vigilantes are linked by radio. Quick response is physically possible, not just promised in a speech. For farms, cooperative farming groups can coordinate their times, routes, and basic security with state actors. When you engineer roads, schools, and farms for safety, you reduce the space where kidnappers can operate freely. Now, about punishment. The Senate wants kidnapping classified as terrorism and punished with the death penalty. Emotionally, it makes sense. People are angry, people are traumatized, people are tired. But here is what global research keeps telling us. It is not the severity of punishment that truly deters crime. It is the certainty of being caught, if a kidnapper believes. There is a 90% chance he will be arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. That fear is powerful, if he believes. There is only a 5% chance he will be caught, even if the punishment is death. He will still take the risk. So Nigeria must shift focus to rapid professional investigations, specialized kidnap and terrorism courts, well-trained prosecutors and judges, and publicly tracked conviction rates. Let's stop campaigning around how harsh the punishment is and start campaigning around how many criminals are actually caught and convicted. That is where real deterrence lies. Across Nigeria, vigilante groups are doing a lot of the frontline work. They know the terrain, they know the faces, they know the rumors, but they lack training, structure, legal protection, proper communication tools, clear rules of engagement. So rather than leaving them as loose ad hoc groups, Nigeria can create an auxiliary civic defense corps, an ACDC. These would be formally registered, properly trained, given simple uniforms and ID, not confusing military camouflage, linked by radio to police and state commands, taught human rights, conflict de-escalation, and how to collect usable intelligence. They will not replace the police. They will extend the reach of the police, especially in rural and hard-to-reach communities. Imagine responsible young men in a village, trained, supervised, identifiable, and respected, with a direct line to the state command and to the fusion center. That is a powerful force multiplier. Let's now talk about the economic roots. Many of the places where kidnapping thrives. are communities where the state is missing. No good roads, no clinics, no electricity, no jobs, no hope. In such environments, young people become easy targets for recruitment. So instead of spreading development efforts thinly everywhere, Nigeria can select 30 to 50 of the worst-hit LGAs and declare them Security Development Priority Zones. In each priority, LGA launch a 3-year intensive program that combines strong and sustained security presence, road and bridge rehabilitation, school and clinic upgrades, solar mini-grids for power, youth employment and skills training, conditional amnesty and reintegration for those willing to drop their guns. The message becomes clear: there is a legal way out of this life. But the criminal path is closing fast. This is how you turn a hotbed of banditry into a community with something to lose and something to protect. Kidnap and bandit networks do not respect state or national borders, from Zamfara to Niger Republic, from Borno to Cameroon, from Oyo forests to Benin Republic. They move, they hide, they regroup. That means Nigeria must push harder for joint border operations with neighbors, shared biometrics and watch lists of high-value kidnap suspects, hot pursuit agreements in border zones, and cross-border development projects that give border communities a stake in legal trade instead of smuggling and crime. The goal is simple: no more safe havens, no more just cross the border and you are safe. Behind every headline there is a human story. A child who slept in the bush, a woman who walked barefoot for days, a boy who watched unspeakable things, a father who sold everything to pay ransom, a mother who still wakes up screaming. If all we talk about is the troops, drones and death penalties, and we never talk about healing, then we are ignoring half of the problem. Nigeria needs trauma counseling centers in high-risk states, school-based counseling programs, support groups for survivors and families, clear national guidelines on ransom policy, safe legal channels for families to seek help. Healing the people is part of defeating the fear that kidnappers use as a weapon. My brother, my sister. Nigeria is at a crossroads. We can continue the old cycle: more speeches, more condemnations, more committees, more promises and more tears. Or we can finally embrace the hard, bold, intelligent choices that will break kidnapping as an industry. Security is not just soldiers and guns. Security is engineering. Security is intelligence and data. Security is accountability and justice. Security is economic opportunity. Security is healing and hope. Here on the Amos Perspective, we speak truth with love and patriotism. And the truth is this: Nigeria can win this war, but not by repeating old methods, only by thinking outside the box and acting with discipline, courage, and unity. Thank you for listening. If this message spoke to you, please like, share, and subscribe to the Amos Perspective on YouTube. Join me again next time as we continue to examine Nigeria's challenges with honesty, innovation, and hope. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My people, Nigeria is in pain again. Schools emptied overnight, villages terrified. Parents running from community to community asking the same question: where are our children? In the past few weeks alone, we have seen a sharp rise in the number of school children and villagers abducted across northern and central Nigeria. It feels like déjà vu, but somehow worse. Today on the Amos Perspective, we are going deep, not just into what happened, but why. What is driving this sudden escalation? And we'll explore a troubling idea circulating across the country. Are terrorists and bandits kidnapping more children because they fear a possible US military strike and are trying to build human shields? It sounds extreme, but in conflict zones, extreme things happen. So stay with me, this is one conversation every Nigerian needs to hear. Let's begin with the facts. In Niger State, a large unknown number of students and teachers were marched into the darkness by heavily armed men. In Kebbi, schoolgirls were abducted and a vice principal murdered. In Kwara, a church was attacked, people killed, and schools across multiple districts shut down from fear. These are not isolated events, and this is a wave, the pattern. and it echoes a trend that began long before Chibok and has continued for more than a decade. Nigeria has a kidnapping economy. We all know this. Criminal gangs, insurgents, militias, splinter factions. They all operate inside it. But something about this new wave feels different, more coordinated, more urgent, more desperate. Which brings us to the next point. Let's be clear, mass abductions did not begin today, and they did not begin because of the United States. 3 major factors drive this crisis. 1. Kidnapping as a business. Over the last 10 years, banditry has evolved from opportunistic crime into a multi-million naira enterprise. Abduct children, demand ransom, abduct again. It's brutal, but it's business. And in an economy where rural livelihoods are collapsing, kidnapping has become the only high-yield venture for many armed groups. 2. Weak governance and security gaps. Our security architecture is overstretched. Schools are underprotected, villages are exposed, and intelligence gathering is often reactive, not proactive. When bandits strike, sometimes the nearest security post is 20, 30, even 50 kilometers away. In that environment, criminals can operate freely. 3. Insurgents competing for relevance. Groups like Boko Haram remnants, Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP cells, and various forest bandit coalitions constantly compete to show they are still powerful. And nothing embarrasses a government like abducting its children. It sends a loud message: we are still here, you can't ignore us. These are the traditional documented drivers of mass kidnappings. But today, something else seems to be shaping the battlefield. Something global, something political. For months now, US President Donald Trump and certain US political circles have been openly accusing the Nigerian government of allowing what they call a Christian genocide. And he has gone further, threatening possible direct military action. Inside the US national security system, planners have reportedly drawn up options, from light operations to heavy strikes, focusing on terrorist strongholds. Again, these are plans on paper, not approved missions, but insurgents and bandits don't think in diplomatic language. They think in survival terms. If a foreign power, especially the United States, is even rumored to be preparing airstrikes, forest raids, or targeted operations against them, they will adjust their strategy. And this has led some Nigerians to ask, are terrorists kidnapping more children to shield themselves from possible foreign attacks? Let's explore that. First, a fact. Terrorist groups in Nigeria have used civilians as human shields before. Human rights investigators, military reports, and academic research all document cases where Boko Haram and ISWAP forced civilians to live in insurgent camps, positioned women and children around commanders, used kidnapped girls as buffers during clashes, punished anyone who tried to escape. This tactic exists. It is real, and it works, because modern militaries avoid striking targets surrounded by civilians. Now imagine a gang leader hearing rumors of US drones or jets preparing strikes. What would he do? He would build a ring of innocent bodies around himself. He would expand his pool of captives. He would make himself expensive to attack. From a dark, brutal standpoint, human shields become a strategic asset. And this is why many Nigerians are connecting the dots. But is it the main reason for the current spike? Not yet. There is no confirmed intelligence, at least in open sources, that shows these specific abductions were ordered to prepare for US strikes. However, the logic is plausible, the timing is suspicious, and the risk is extremely high. So as analysts, we must treat this idea as a serious strategic possibility, even if it is not yet a proven fact. Whether these kidnappings are for ransom or for human shields, the result is the same. Nigeria's children are in danger, our rural communities are unprotected, and our sovereignty is under pressure from both internal and external forces. So what should Nigeria do? Let's break it down. 1. Assume human shield tactics will increase. Nigeria's military must plan operations knowing that hostages may be mixed into insurgent camps. This requires precision intelligence, avoiding blind bombardments, more encirclement and negotiation tactics, better collaboration with communities who can provide real-time tips. 2. Fortify schools. Now, the Safe Schools initiative must move from paper to ground reality fencing, local alarm systems, armed vetted guards, secure dormitories, rapid response links with nearby formations. When parents drop their children in school, they must feel safe, not anxious. 3. Destroy the ransom economy. Government must track ransom payments, freeze financial channels, arrest collaborators, regulate negotiation intermediaries, block communication networks used by criminal gangs. Kidnapping thrives because ransom is almost always paid. Break that economy, and you break the cycle. 4. Manage the US-Nigeria tensions carefully. Nigeria must reduce the political temperature. Foreign rhetoric must not turn our children into bargaining chips. Diplomacy here is not optional. It is a national necessity. 5. Rebuild trust with citizens. When villages give intelligence, they must be protected afterwards. When families are grieving, government must be honest, not performative. Security communication must be factual, consistent, and humane. Trust is a security asset. Lack of trust is a security threat. My people, Nigeria is standing at a dangerous intersection. A decade of kidnapping has now collided with global politics, extremist calculations, and domestic vulnerability. The truth, as we have seen today, is complex. Some kidnappings are for ransom. Some are to embarrass the state. Some may be preparing for human shield protection, and all are enabled by weak security systems and economic hardship. But the bottom line is simple. Nigeria must protect its children. The world is watching, our enemies are calculating, and our future, literally, is inside those classrooms. We cannot afford to wait until rumors turn into tragedies. We must act now, decisively, strategically, patriotically. This is our country, these are our children, and their safety is not negotiable. Thank you for listening to this deep dive. If this episode opened your eyes or strengthened your understanding, like, subscribe, and share it with someone today. Until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay hopeful for a stronger, more secure Nigeria. This is the Amos Perspective, a straight-talk brief for Nigerians at home and abroad. Today, we unpack Washington's renewed heat on religious freedom in Nigeria and Beijing's very public embrace of President Tinubu. What is noise? What is signal? And what should a patriotic Nigerian demand right now? Let's get clear. Headline recap. The United States has redesignated Nigeria a country of particular concern on religious freedom and is signaling possible actions against individuals accused of persecuting believers. In response to US rhetoric, China has stepped forward to back Nigeria's sovereignty and cautioned against external interference, aligning publicly with the Tinubu administration. Punch framed it succinctly. US eyes religious persecutors trial. China backs Tinubu. That is the axis of the moment. Let's separate the strands. The CPC tag is not new to Nigeria. It has appeared, disappeared, and reappeared as US policy blows hot and cold. What changes now is the talk of trials and targeted measures, which can mean visa bans or asset freezes against specific actors credibly linked to violations, not blanket punishment of the Nigerian people. That nuance matters. On the other side, China's message is classic: non-interference, respect for sovereignty, and solidarity with Abuja. It plays well in a moment when Nigerians are touchy about foreign threats. But China's support, while symbolically useful, does not erase our duty to protect every Nigerian, Christian or Muslim, traditionalist or minority. Sovereignty is responsibility. What a patriotic Nigerian should care about: truth over talking points. Violence in Nigeria is complex. It includes religion in some places, resource and land pressures in others, criminality, terrorism, and political capture. Any single-story diagnosis fails. A patriotic stance insists on facts, not propaganda from any capital. Equal protection. Whether the victim is Christian in Plateau or Muslim in Borno, the Republic owes protection, justice, and compensation. The Constitution is blind to creed. Target the guilty, shield the innocent. If there will be sanctions, let them be smart and individual, aimed at verified perpetrators. Broad threats of force against a democratic partner are counterproductive and risk rallying Nigerians around the flag instead of around the rule of law. Own the fixes. We need to lead the solution. External pressure may spur action, but Nigerian institutions must deliver proof: arrests, prosecutions, and safer communities. The strategic landscape. Here is the hard geopolitics. Washington's lever is the International Religious Freedom Framework. It can escalate to targeted penalties. It also offers a pathway out: credible reforms, transparent data, and demonstrable justice. The ball is partly in Abuja's court to show measurable improvements and to communicate those improvements professionally. Beijing's lever is investment, diplomatic cover, and rhetoric against interference. Useful in the short run, yes. But no partner can give Nigeria what only Nigeria can do: restore security, reduce impunity, and rebuild trust across communities. Domestic politics in the US matter. Lawmakers are staking positions, some backing tougher action on Nigeria, others signaling diplomacy first. That split can change the temperature quickly, so Abuja needs a disciplined, evidence-rich outreach plan to Congress, not just the executive branch. What Abuja should do now. This is what a patriot asks of their government, without fear or favor. Publish an incident ledger. Create a real-time public registry of communal and terror incidents with location, victim demographics, arrests, trials, and outcomes. This defangs dubious narratives and shows progress or gaps plainly. Name, arrest, prosecute. Announce a special fast-track docket for mass atrocity and religiously tinged cases. Prioritize cases with survivor testimony and forensic evidence. Share quarterly conviction data. Victim-centered relief. Set up a national restorative justice fund with transparent disbursements to survivors regardless of faith. Interfaith early warning panels. Formalize community liaisons that flag tensions before they explode. External engagement with spine. Tell Washington, we reject blanket threats. Share case files under mutual legal assistance to target true perpetrators. Tell Beijing, thanks for the support, but Nigeria will fix Nigeria. Both messages are patriotic and proportional. What Washington should hear from us. A patriotic Nigerian voice says, Partner with our reforms, refrain from maximalist military posturing, and focus on joint investigations, training of prosecutors, and community-level peace-building. Smart patient cooperation prevents backlash and produces results that last. What Beijing should hear from us. Thank you for backing our sovereignty. Now match words with support for justice sector reforms and livelihood projects in flashpoint zones. Non-interference must not become non-accountability. What citizens can do this week. Verify, then share. Resist unverified atrocity counts. Amplify credible local monitors and interfaith coalitions. Push your representatives. Ask state and federal lawmakers to back the incident ledger, the special prosecutions docket, and survivor support. Model the republic. Protect your neighbor's right to worship, speak, and organize peacefully. That is patriotism in practice. Sovereignty is not a shield for impunity. It is a call to higher duty. If Nigeria shows the world clean data, real prosecutions, and safer communities, the noise will fade and respect will rise. Thanks for listening. Keep faith with country and with truth.